These are the problems from the section 0.5 day 2 sheet that is on your Angel under worksheets from chapter 0 and chapter 1. So in order to do this first problem, what we have to do is get a common denominator between the two fractions. Since the denominator of this fraction is 1, we'll choose 2 square root of x. So the first fraction has to have the top and bottom multiplied by that denominator, which is going to create 2 square root of x in the denominator, and the numerator, the 2 square root of x times the other 2 square root of x becomes 4x, and then we have the x minus 2 factor, and the other fraction has not changed, so I'll just write it down as it is. Now when we combine them over this denominator, we can see that there is a common factor of x minus 2. So rather than squaring x minus 2 in this piece of the problem, we can factor out the common factor of x minus 2 here and here. And so we will pull out x minus 2, and from this first piece of the numerator we'll be left with 4x, and from the second piece we'll be left with the other factor of x minus 2. Our denominator again is 2 square root of x, and then finally we can combine the 4x with the x and have that become 5x minus 2. Denominator 2 square root of x. So we're getting a common denominator, but when we combine them together, the easiest way to combine the numerators is to pull out that common factor of x minus 2 and write down what's left. For the next problem, we already have it together into one fraction, so what we're going to do is look at the numerator and see that common factor of x squared plus 2. We're going to pull it out to the lowest degree, which is -1/2. Then we'll be left from this first term with x squared plus 2 to the 1/2 minus -1/2, which is 1, minus x squared, that's right here, and the other piece of that, x squared plus 2 to the -1/2, is what we pulled out, so that won't be left inside. This will all be over x squared. The x squared plus 2 to the -1/2, since it's being multiplied, can get moved down to the denominator along with the other x squared. And there it'll be to the +1/2. And in the numerator, I'll be left with x squared plus 2 minus x squared. So that's just the number 2. So that's the final answer for number 23. Moving on to this checkpoint from the book, we're doing sort of a combination of what we did up here. In the numerator, we need to get a common denominator. So in the numerator, leaving the x plus 2 down in the denominator, we want a common denominator of 4 square root of x plus 2, which is what this second fraction has. For that square root of x plus 2, to turn that into a fraction with this denominator, we're going to multiply its numerator and denominator by that common denominator that we want. The denominator of it right now is the number 1. So this will return into 4 square root of x plus 2 times this square root of x plus 2 in the numerator, and the denominator will be 4 square root of x plus 2 times 1.